What's up, guys? It's me, Roll. Welcome back to the channel where nothing happens. That's right. That's right. I don't really have anything planned, but I did have this one thing where it was like an ultimate challenge, like a super challenge. It was going to be hiking and then a bike ride and then running all in one day. I'm going to try and do it back to back to back. You know, my rule is that once I'm running, I'm not stopping for anything or anyone. Because one time I went for a run and there was this couple like arguing or fighting in their car, but then as I was getting closer to pass them on my route, they got out of the car and started arguing on the sidewalk. And I'm like, okay, I could either scoot to the side or go around and go on the street and run around their car. And then the guy literally turns and tries to flag me down, get my attention. He's like, wait, and I'm like reading his lips and he's like, can you help me? And I like managed to reach for my phone and I put the volume down. He's like, can I ask you something? Me and my girlfriend are fighting about something. And I'm like, get away from me. And I kept running. I'm like, no. As for bike rides, same thing. I'm not gonna stop for anyone because there's a bike route that literally takes me from my house all the way to my old job or current place of employment, which isn't there anymore. It would take me from there to there. Like, it was like 10 miles there and 10 miles back on a bicycle. And there would be a lot of shady people, and it would go through the metro lane where the bus route goes, and there's like a side thing for bicycles and people to walk their dogs, but then there's this like extra set of like foliage on the side that goes for like maybe 2 meters, and it grows, and there's trees in there, and there's not a lot of light at night. You know, there's only like several light posts and lamps that separate every like 50 miles. In that foliage, you know, in that little jungle, there's like weirdos in there hanging out and shit. And I remember one time I was riding my bike. I don't know. I saw something really weird. Like, in my mind, I thought it was a creature, but it was just like either homeless people or just weirdos hanging out in the foliage, like in like random patches of grass. But they didn't seem homeless. They were just like normal looking dudes, and they were just walking in. I saw something in the corner of my eye like move around in the foliage, and I had my big bright light going that way, and so I could only see what's ahead of me. But then I saw something move, and I turn, and then I see like just like a couple of guys like standing there, like just kind of like I don't know if they were trying to like blend in with the background. Nope, not stopping at all. I'm sorry, not stopping at all. Hikes are a little different. You can only go hiking, you know, morning, afternoon, really. Like, if you're hiking in the evening, good luck, dude. Here's another story. I was with a friend years ago. We went for a hike, and the sun was setting, but we managed to reach the top of the mountain. We reached the top, and we're realizing that, man, this is a beautiful sight, and the sun is like setting. And we realized it took us like hour and a half to get to the top, and the sun was already at the ridge, at the horizon. Like, it got dark, like completely dark, and then eventually we made it to the bottom. Great, the hard part's over. We just gotta watch out for snakes or freaking jaguars or foxes or whatever. And we're walking, and then in the distance we hear a flute. like we hear a flute, and it's dark, and you know, we turn off our flashlights and we're like, what the hell is that? And we're looking around, and then we see like 3 shadowy figures like walking our way in, like towards us. And again, it's like dark as hell, like dark, like pitch black. I can hear the flute. They were playing like some kind of weird flute music. I don't know. Like, it wasn't something recognizable or cheery. How you'd be like, oh, cool, that's someone playing a flute. It's kind of like, oh man, someone's playing the flute in the middle of nowhere at night in the dark. We're getting closer, and I'm freaking out, and I'm like, oh dude, we're gonna die. This is it. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. So I grab a rock and I tell my friend, like, dude, just grab like a big ass stick or something. And he grabs like a rock also. And then they stop playing the flute. And then they totally see us. Because it's like a little, like a hill, and it's coming down and it comes back up. And we're coming on the hill, and I told them to just wait because I didn't want to be down there, and then if anything they came and rushed us or whatever. So we waited and like baby stepped it, you know, acted kind of dumb, like, oh, I don't hear a flute. Everybody heard the flute. And then so they were coming down, so we started going down, and that way we'd be in the middle, and then we crossed them, and then they were going up and we started going up. And nobody said anything. I think maybe they might have been afraid as we were afraid. Like, I remember being petrified, like thinking, I'm like, there's these 3 shadowy figures. They're walking at night playing flute. This is some cult stuff. I don't know. This is creepy. But they were going into the cave, I don't know, to do some weird shit. I don't know. I didn't ask. I just wanted to go home. So me and my friend, like, turned on our flashlights and we started running as fast as we could, like just like it lighting in front of us, the pathway, and we just kept going and going and going and going and going and going. And then we turned off our flashlights, and it turns out that because, you know, it's a park and it's like a place to hike, they closed the gates, and it went up pretty high, and we're like, how are we gonna get through that? And my friend was pretty scared. He didn't ask or do shit. He just started climbing, and I'm like, okay. So I started climbing with him, and he hopped over. He like crash landed. I crash landed. We ran to his car, and we freaking took off. And I remember like just like laughing really hard in the car, and I'm like, oh my God, we almost died. And he was just laughing, and he's like, oh man, what was that? Who was that? I'm like, I don't know. It was... Please be careful. Be careful, guys. It was insane. It's insane. That was crazy. Yeah, so for my thing, my challenge is that I'm going to take you guys on a hike with me, and then I'm going to take you guys on a bike ride with me, and then I'm going to take you guys for a run with me. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for giving a like. Thank you for just hearing me, listening. You guys are the best, and always thank you very much. And I'll see you guys in the next video. The next video is the adventure one. I promise. Like, I'm not even gonna talk. I probably will talk. Hike, bike ride, run. You'll see. You'll see.